PC family, happy Monday, happy launch day. We have two special guests with us on the right, Gabe Lopez and John Heredia. We are super excited. If you guys are just joining us from the Corsair stream, obviously you guys already know what's going on, but it is launch day today for the Corsair 1. On our end, we're going to be unveiling the Corsair 1 Origin Edition, which you guys can see right there in front of Gabe and John. John and Gabe, I'm going to give you guys the floor to introduce yourself and talk. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so like Adam said, thank you for the introduction. I'm Gabe. I am the Corsair product manager for desktops. So everything from Vengeance all the way to the brand new Corsair 1.
And I'm John Heredia. I'm the product manager for workstations at Origin PC, and I've kind of overseen the project launching on the OPC side.
So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a deep dive into these products. John and Gabe have had a really hands-on experience, I could say, for the most part, as you guys heard with the product. So they're going to give a little bit of knowledge that you guys may have already heard on the Corsair stream. So if you guys are just joining us, I'll try and do my best to keep the amazing quality that Bob does on the Corsair streams. One of my really good friends, Bob, that I go way back with. John's sound is kind of very bad, guys. If there's anything that you guys hear that's off, we're gonna be working for it live. We are in the same room, so I'm gonna try my hardest not to scream because I get excited. I'm very excited, guys. I love streaming, and they're standing literally like 3 feet away from me. So I'm gonna do my best to not stream so we don't peek through each other's mics. But
also, I just wanted to say really quick, if anybody has any questions about the Corsair 1 throughout this stream, just make sure to let us know in chat, and we'll ask at the end.
We're going to be doing a giant Q&A at the end of the stream. So if you guys do have any questions, we're going to be jotting them down over here on our end, and we're going to rapid fire you two questions, so I hope you're prepared. I'm sure.
Always.
I hope so too.
If you guys mentioned that it was hard to hear John, I didn't have his mic up, I'm gonna be honest. But now we can hear John, right? Say hi.
Hi.
Cool,
Hello.
we can hear. Awesome, perfect.
We're good, all right.
Okay, we can hear John. But yes, so guys, as you can see, we good? As you can see, we have the two of the Origin Corsair 1 Origin editions in front of them. The Wood Dark and the Wood Bright. These are completely unique wood panels. Do you guys want to talk on that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I figured we could start with what the customer sees first, right? And we kind of have the sample here so you can see it, but when you do receive it, you get this nifty little cardboard box, right? With your Corsair 1 illustration. It'll show your specs and which version you received. And on the other side, you'll see the One Tree Planted organization that we've partnered up with. So every unit sold, we do donate to the One Tree Plant organization to continue planting trees, right? It also comes with the Corsair 1 top sheet, which you will get, and it does have some quick instructions on how to set up your Corsair 1. And on the bottom here, you'll see a QR code that once scanned, it'll take you to the quick start guide. And that has everything from how to connect your PC to how to upgrade your memory, your M.2, how to use the software that comes with the system. There's a couple. Yeah, and a couple of questions, right, that you may or may not have. And then kind of like Adam mentioned, right, each Corsair 1 does have this beautiful wood panel, and it is real wood. This version has the walnut, the wood dark. The wood bright has the maple version of the wooden front panel. Now this is FSC certified, right? So each panel is completely unique. It has its own unique grain, unique pattern. So you can put 4 or 5 wood darks next to each other and they would not look anything alike, which I think is pretty neat. It gives a little bit of uniqueness to your setup.
Yeah, it's one of a kind.
Absolutely. Do we want to turn it on here just so we can see? So it does have a pretty cool.
Let's give it a little turn on, yeah.
Right?
And while you're doing that, I know that you mentioned that these are both options on the Origin side as well. I know that there are supposed to be some more customization options coming soon on the Origin PC side. Is that correct?
Yes. So as far as the customization goes right now, what we've got is customizing the components or the internal components. So you can arrange either up to 192 gigabytes of memory. You can do capture card. You can add in a network card if you need it. Sound cards are also an option. Storage is also an option that we'll offer. So you could do up to 24 terabytes total space of what we offer currently, which is 2 M.2s and the addition of an SSD on the back.
Which we'll show a little bit in just a few minutes here. A little bit more that we wanted to talk about. First thing you see, right, is that lighting. That very cool light pipes that are coming down the front. And we'll get that one turned on as well. You have one coming on each side, right and left side. And then we also have what we call the underglow. I got a better shot here, right? So you get this light pipe that comes underneath the right and left side of the system that kind of glows your desk a little bit. So it gives a nice kind of unique glow to your setup.
Honestly, I love the lights, like how they turn on. I turned it on for the first time and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Oh, and
there it is. There's the boot up effect.
Yeah,
it's super cool.
Another cool feature that we absolutely love, and let's see if I can get this all turned around without unplugging it, is this touch sensor lighting in your rear I/O, right? So we all know trying to connect USB devices or even connecting your audio devices or your HDMI or DisplayPort, right? Sometimes it gets really dark back there. This kind of eliminates that, right? Immediately it illuminates the back side, the rear side of your I/O, so you can easily see where you're connecting, and it stays on for about 20 seconds and it'll automatically turn off if you don't touch it, just like that. You can also touch it on and touch it off for easy use.
That's super cool. Yeah, I know this is I don't know, did we talk about the customization options that we are having on the OPC side?
Yeah, for the configurations being customizable, we are looking into doing more custom stuff like branding and all that for UV printing and etching for the front panels. So those are still kind of TBD until we can go through all the different options that we're deciding on.
Yeah.
So we did briefly hit on it and mentioned all the upgrades you can make. But if you guys are just joining us, like I mentioned, this is our launch day stream for the Corsair One. If you guys are joining us from the Corsair stream, probably confused what you're doing here. This is the Origin PC edition, which offers some more customization that the Corsair side doesn't. This is our newest small form factor PC that we launched today. It's beefy, powerful, sleek. I saw some people make jokes that you can get it at IKEA because it kind of has that wooden,
it's
wooden vinyl.
Yes.
An IKEA vibe to it.
Which I'm totally okay with.
We're totally okay with it. Do we want to do a size comparison? I know we had a size comparison over there.
So we do have a 10 keyless Corsair keyboard that we wanted to use as a comparison, right? And we can kind of do a front side here so you can see that. Oh, maybe this side's better. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can see that the Corsair One's just slightly taller than a 10 keyless keyboard. If we put it here in the front, it's about the same width, give or take. So yeah, super compact. If you are familiar with the previous Corsair One, it's the same height and width, right? It's just a little bit longer on the far side.
A little deeper, yeah.
Right, to make sure that we can accommodate the larger GPUs, right? And we wanted to make sure that we could fit the RTX 4090, the flagship GPU in this small beast.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it fits so well on a desk. Like, it's so small.
It does. I mean, it's a piece of art, really.
Yeah, no, it truly
honestly, like, it's such a nice piece to have on your desk that you really want to show off. It's nice.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think of speaking what it looks like on the externals. Do you want to hit on the internals of the PC? What we got, CPU, GPU wise, and so on and so forth?
Sure, absolutely. So we do have two different models, and each model, right, will have the wood bright and the wood dark version of it. So the top end model is a 14900K with an RTX 4090. Has 64 gigs of RAM, 2x32 at 6,000 megatransfers. Wow. Has a 2 terabyte drive as your primary drive and a 1,000 watt power supply. The second version, right? I don't want to call it a base version because it's not. Yeah. It's also a 14900K, but this one has an RTX 4080 Super, 32 gigs of RAM, 2x16 at 6,000 megatransfers, 2 terabyte drive, and a 1,000 watt power supply.
Yeah. Now on the Origin side, it's going to be a little bit different, with the exception of the CPU and GPU. Those are constant between the two models. But what we do offer is obviously starting with 1 terabyte drive, and it could go all the way up to an 8 terabyte drive. You could do 2 of those, and then in the addition of the SSD on the rear, which is also an additional 8 terabyte drive that you can install.
All right. I did want to cover, because I realized that I actually activated a different RGB effect, so we might as well cover that, right? So this light strip here in the front is not just decorative, right? It is touch sensitive. So if you're going through this bottom section here and you hold and release, it'll change the RGB effect, right? You can go through a couple here. There we go. We got the
Ooh.
rainbow there.
Rainbow.
Let's go.
We got Starry Night, which is
Yeah.
my favorite.
Starry Night's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, and then we can go back to
The white.
static, right?
Yeah.
So currently it's set to white, right, and it will be out of the box. But then you can go ahead and swipe on this top section, and you can cycle through all the different RGB options that we have pre-selected. As well as a little neat feature, right? If you want to turn your lights off for whatever reason, maybe you're streaming or maybe you're recording something, right? You can just hold for about 3 seconds and release, and it'll turn. Well, I cycle through. Then hold it long enough.
That's the tricky part.
There you go. It turns off, right? So it'll turn off all the front lights and the bottom lights, and it'll keep your logo on just so you know that your computer is still on, right? You might forget to turn it back on, but you still know your system is on. You can hold it for those 3 seconds, and it'll come back on.
Wow.
Nice little features.
Hey.
Nice little features. I see some people talking in the chat about pricing, so I think that's a good segue. I know, John, that's your side of things. And what are we rocking with in terms of pricing here for this small form factor?
Yeah, the base model is going to be slightly under $3,500 for the 1 terabyte, an entry level kind of spec, and that's with the 4080 Super. And then it goes up from there. So depending on how you configure the system, if you're throwing in that network card or the capture card, if you're fully loading out the storage options on there, it could climb up, in excess of 5,000, 6,000. So depending on how you configure it, really.
I saw. Sorry, I'm not chuckling at you. I saw a comment in the chat that I'm gonna pass over, but people in the chat could see it. Carol saw it as well, I'm assuming. She's also smiling, but I guess we didn't take that into account when we were designing this chassis. It's something funny. It's not anything bad. Don't worry. I'll tell you after.
Okay, sounds good.
It's not
Take your word for it.
It's just something funny. But yes, let's talk about the features a little bit. Let's dive a little bit more into the features that we see here on the features, and then also some warranty questions. I know that we might have those as well.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to start tearing this up a little bit just to get to the internals?
Yeah.
All right, so nitty gritty. So Corsair 1 on all the models.
I'm here to build.
Oh no, what's happening? PJ, did we get PJ on a live stream to build?
This is not a live build.
I think he's always on the live stream.
I build the computers. I was here.
You're always ready? No, but this one's ready to go.
What do you mean? We're not building today.
This is done.
Yeah, this was not here.
This is ready to go, man.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, PJ. We'll let you know.
We'll call you next time, PJ.
My people will call your people.
Sorry, buddy.
Exactly.
Same people, but
Not fair.
my people will call your people.
So yeah, the
Free PJ.
Corsair free PJ in the chat, please. So Corsair 1 does come with this fabric side panel, right, that acts as a filter, and it is a great design that adds to the features of the case. But it is easily removable. It's got some magnets, so you can just remove it and put it to the side. And then what you see here, there we go, is the aluminum side panel that John's gonna go ahead and take off here. So it's pretty simple to take off. It's got 2 screws that are located on the top corners. Once you can remove that, the side panel comes off. There we go. As soon as you get that panel off, you're going to immediately see 3 fans, right, that we have mounted on the side panels. These are mounted as intake fans, right? So you want to make we're bringing in cold air into the system to make sure that we're cooling all the interior components. To get into the interior, right, if you want to upgrade your memory or your M.2, there's 2 screws that are located here in the corners. And for customer systems, it's the one above that one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. For customer systems, you will see these little kind of stickers on there. That's more for a reference point for our support teams to know whether or not the system has been worked on. This doesn't void your warranty when you're opening up your system in order to upgrade your CPU or your memory or even your M.2, right? We're making sure that you have access to do this without voiding your warranty. So now that it's open, you can see we have the 120 millimeter CPU AIO that's cooling that 14900K. And then on the top here, you might not be able to see very well, but it is the 240 AIO cooler that's cooling the 4090. Yeah, the RTX 4090. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to get inside. You can now access your memory. You can access your M.2. And as a matter of fact, what we did here, I don't know if you want to take off that side, the bottom one as well.
Sure.
To get to the primary M.2 slot, we're going to go ahead and take off this bottom section here. But what we decided to do was to put your primary drive, which houses your Windows OS, on the bottom slot of the motherboard to allow you easy access to the top slot if you do want to include in more storage in the future. Any questions so far about the internals?
About the internals.
Let's see.
So
So we
everything's
do
chill.
have actually, we had a
We
question.
had a cable management question.
Yeah, we've been getting a couple
Ah.
cable management questions.
Okay,
They
great,
wanted to
great
see
questions. Yeah, so there is some cable management, right? And it is a small form factor, so it is pretty difficult to kind of hide away cables. But we've
Right.
done, I think, a pretty good job of kind of hiding away cables, making sure that it's not in the way of the components or cooling those components. You might be able to get a good shot there of the bottom. There we go. So you'll see the 1,000 watt power supply here on the side. And then, of course, your cable's kind of tucked away in that little corner. And here's your RTX 4090,
Yep.
cooled by that 240 millimeter AIO.
Wow.
And you can kind of briefly see on that left corner right there. There we go. That's your primary M.2. So we did that so you didn't have to try and get in there, right? It's not very accessible for that bottom one. So we left the top slot for you to install your second M.2.
Neat. I mean, it's all.
It's so compact, and it's crazy that this is all
I'm
put
surprised
into
that
this
it's.
small form
Right.
factor.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
any
Yeah.
space inside the case
That's-
with how
it's,
small.
It's really cool to see because I think this is the first time I've personally seen it up close.
Yeah.
Opened up, so it's actually incredible to see. I think people were mentioning that it's crazy how that is cooling these parts. Do you guys want to talk a little bit more on the cooling side of things?
Yeah, so we've been able to set the custom BIOS, right? Because this is using a custom Corsair 1 BIOS. In the BIOS, we've been able to format it in a way that it's the best kind of performance to thermal ratio for the CPU, right? We wanted to make sure that you're getting the most out of your 14900K while making sure that we're getting that thermal temperatures down, right? We've played a ton of games on this stuff
Yeah.
on these systems, and we haven't had any issues.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can mention, but there have been some influencer videos come out already that kind of
Yes.
talk about performance.
Yeah.
And it's been great so far, and they've been very impressed with the performance that this system can output in such a small form factor.
Yeah.
So we're pretty excited for that.
Yes, we can talk on the influencer videos. We did have a video go live. We had a video this morning go live with Roby Tech.
Yes.
We also did
Yeah.
a deep dive on the Corsair one. If you guys want to check that out, I'm sure that's on YouTube. You guys can find that, or we can at some point link it in here in the chat.
Share it
But,
with everybody.
We did do a video with Roby, who also had his deep dive on it as well. So for a
Yeah.
non-biased review, and he did his own play testing and benchmarks and so on and so forth. But pulling up on the stream here, this is the landing page that we have. If you guys type Corsair 1 in the chat, that'll hyperlink, or it'll post that link for you guys to be able to check it out yourself. If you guys are interested to purchase, you can buy it on that landing page there. It also gives kind of a deep dive, more than what Gabe and John here are speaking on. If you guys, this is a lot of information to obviously take in. So
Yeah, I mean, it shows everything that comes inside of it. You can see there's a whole gallery here with all the images.
yeah.
But yeah.
So obviously, if you guys weren't taking your notes, we don't expect you to. This is not a college lecture. You guys can visit the landing page right there and check out all the information. Or if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. A little bit here towards the end of the stream, we're going to be doing a Q&A with putting John and Gabe on the spot to see how much they really know about the product. I'm sure you guys can tell they know absolutely nothing. So, but yeah, let's speak on. Is there anything else that we want to do? I know you're putting it back. Is there anything else you guys want to hit on before?
Well, I did want to turn the system around so you can see where the 2.5-inch slot is.
Okay.
Right, and that
so
helps
that
a little bit
way-
with that cable management question too,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So there is some cable management on the backside.
Yeah.
And while kind of John takes that apart, I did want to reference the quick start guide again. It does answer a ton of questions. It does showcase how to use the lighting if you may forget. All of that information is on that quick start guide, so it's super referenceable. It's amazing, and it's a huge help.
Someone did ask, what does the buttons do? What buttons?
Which buttons? Now,
I'm assuming we're talking about the main button.
if it's this button, this is the power button.
I thought it made it explode.
Surprisingly.
Shocker, it's still here.
So real quick, you'll see back here is the 2.5-inch slot. It's already got screws that are installed so that you can repurpose those for your 2.5-inch slot. So let's say you don't configure a system now with an SSD, but you want to add one in the future. The screws are already there, the tray is already pre-installed into the system, and then you'll notice also the SATA data and power are already located here, so you just pop them right onto there and it should be good.
Yeah, and for those questions of the cable management, look at that. That's
Yep.
pretty neat. What do you think, PJ?
I was gonna say, did you do this?
How's
or
that
did
cable
PJ do
management,
this?
buddy?
I was waiting for PJ.
What do you think of that cable management? That's pretty good.
Scale of 1 to 10, PJ. What do we rate it?
For a pre-built system,
Yeah.
I give that a 9 because I'm not gonna say names, but I've seen a lot of pre-built systems that look nothing like this. So
Hey, a
Not
9
bad.
from PJ.
I'll take that.
You heard
I was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say a 9 from PJ is like
Yeah.
getting a 10 from a lot of
From a lot of folks.
a lot of, yeah. I'll take a 9 from PJ for sure.
People
but
are
yeah.
loving the cable management.
Fantastic.
That's,
Yeah.
that's so sleek in the back. It's so interesting to me because I feel like when you were turning it around, it made me think of like you're not supposed to move. This is a console reference, but like you're not supposed to move a console when
While
it's
it's
on.
on.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're doing that, I was like, oh my god, is it gonna break the internals? I was like, no, that's a PC. It's not a console. So.
No, it's very doable. Yeah,
no, it's good.
I mean, for those that are watching, right? This is it's very thick aluminum. It's
Yeah.
it's hefty,
Yeah.
right?
It's
So-
all recyclable too.
Right. Yes, thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
It is all recyclable. It is very durable. Definitely a great design.
Yeah.
I might be a little biased, but that's okay.
I mean, hitting on that point, I know it was like kind of designed with sustainability in mind a little bit. So
Right,
yes.
I know you said it was built with recyclable materials.
Yes, all of it is built with recyclable aluminum. The packaging is all recyclable cardboard, and we're using an oyster shell insert to make sure that the system is completely protected but still recyclable.
Okay.
And on that, we are also donating $1. I know we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but because it's all recyclable materials and recyclable packaging, we're donating $1 to the tree plant organization. Is that for
That
every
one
unit?
Tree planted, yeah.
Every tree, is that every unit sold or
Every unit sold.
Okay.
Yes.
So every unit sold, we donate 1 tree planted to which organization was it?
It's called
It's
One Tree
called One Tree
Oh, it's
Planet.
Planted.
called
Yeah,
One
yeah,
Tree
yeah.
Planet.
That's
Yes.
the organization, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Making sure I got that right. Do we want to hit on the warranty at all? If there's any warranty questions?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So like I said, if you do want to get to the internals, you want to install more memory or more storage, you're absolutely welcome to do so. It doesn't void your warranty. Obviously, replacing something like your motherboard, right? That will void warranty. We're not going to support a new motherboard that would be installed, right? But you do have quite a few liberties to go in and upgrade your system. GPU would probably be the only one that I would recommend contacting our support teams to help you with the GPU. It is a little bit complex because it is using a custom cold plate in order to cool the RTX 4090.
Right.
So you could be very techy and handy, and you might be able to do so, but definitely recommend contacting our support team to replace your GPU.
Yeah.
Cool. I know we already answered this question, but does the side panel come in wood?
Side panel does not
No.
come in wood. That's some great
might
feedback,
choke-
though.
That might choke.
It possibly. I mean,
Right, yeah.
It wouldn't be. It couldn't be solid wood for sure. It
Yeah.
would definitely have to be perforated in some way in order to get
Right.
it cooled. But that's a great idea. Maybe more wood. Incorporate more wood.
Potentially, yeah.
We don't have it, but we have this cool like the headphone holder.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I thought
we.
that was pretty dope.
Yeah, we will have a headphone holder to just kind of mount on the top, and you can hang your headphones, your headsets, and there'll be a couple of images that you'll see on our website, on our PDPs, that you'll see that there. So that'll be an option coming here very, very soon.
Because I work in a closet, so that's like perfect. I have a place to put my headphones.
Victor's saying
Yeah.
that he wants a place for his headphones.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
absolutely.
not mic'd up, so everyone's
Yeah.
probably like, what is
Hold
what
my
is-
headphones.
But-
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
We have another question about the price. Do you guys want to deep dive into that again?
Well, I can talk about the Corsair pricing,
Versus
and then
the
you
Origin,
can
yeah.
you can review the OPC again. The RTX 4080 Super version of Corsair One will start at $3599.99. The RTX 4090 version of it will be starting at $4699.99 on the Corsair website.
Yeah. On the Origin side, it is a little bit different because of our offerings. So because we work on a scale between like lowest end offer to highest end offer. It's going to be slightly under the $35.99 price tag that Corsair has, given that we're starting at a 1 terabyte drive versus a 2 terabyte. The memory options are also a little bit scaled as well. So depending on how the system's configured, it's going to affect price ultimately. So yeah, it's going to be 4080, 4090, 4080 Super, 4090. Those are the 2 versions, and then 32 gigabytes, 64 gigs, 96 gigs, 192 gigs. I mean, it all depends on how you want the system built, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, if you haven't been to our website, it's completely configurable. Is that the word?
Yep.
Configurable, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, there's just like a whole configurator where you can go and select what exactly it is that you want in your system. So, yeah.
Yeah, and to touch base a little bit on the warranty that's come up, right? We are offering a 2-year warranty with 24-hour, 7 days a week support.
Yep.
Yeah.
NA-based support as well, so you can always call someone local
and somebody be available.
Correct.
at any time of the day. So that is something that we think is very important here. You're always talking to someone local and can help you at any hour of the day, even when you're gaming at 4 a.m. like most of us do. So.
Something else too is that Origin does offer an extended warranty beyond that, so it'll be up to a 3-year warranty if that's something that you want to consider when you're buying a system and you want that extended warranty just in case to cover any components or any things to, whatever might happen in the future. Origin definitely has your back on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. I saw a question about, is it loud? I mean, I can't hear a single thing here. I'll let you guys touch on it. You guys are standing right in front of the unit, but what has been your experience? Even when
I don't know if the mic
we're
is
not
close enough.
running anything on it right now.
There's nothing running on it, but honestly, the times that we have been running anything on it, gaming-wise or anything, it's whisper quiet. It's super quiet.
At idle is very quiet. As it starts to run, and you can be doing anything, right?
Yeah.
It does ramp up a little bit, like any other system does to cool the components, right?
Yeah.
But it definitely doesn't sound like a turbine, if that's what you're what you're asking.
Now, granted, sound is all subjective, but in our experience and the experience that we have with systems and everything, it's quiet. You don't really hear it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very quiet.
Which further adds to it being a nice desktop piece to actually have on your desktop because it's so quiet. It's so nice looking, the aesthetic of it. It's just a great system.
Yeah, which actually kind of plays into the full idea, right? The concept of this system was that it's not just a gaming system. This could be in your home office. This could be in your workplace.
Right.
This could be your content creation system, your video editing system. This was we designed this to fit any space, to do and run any function, anything that you need it for.
And look good too.
Absolutely, and look good while doing it.
Yeah.
And when people ask what that is, and they may not know it's a PC.
Yeah, because it looks like a furniture piece.
It'll be a PC.
Yeah. It's kind of one of the biggest feedback that I'm pretty excited about is the reference to being a furniture piece. It's another piece of furniture in your
some
setup.
people might think it's just like a fancy oil diffuser or something.
Right.
But it's not. It's a whole system.
And it's a powerful system.
And it's a powerful one
nonetheless. I saw someone ask, is the support worldwide or just US? So if you are a Origin PC customer or a Corsair customer, the support is offered to you worldwide. Is that correct?
Correct.
That is correct, yes. Corsair One will be offered in many regions. It's not completely worldwide yet. We're working towards it being completely worldwide, but you can find it in the EU, in the UK, in Canada. So definitely worldwide.
I guess now I think we'll open up the floor for any questions. I think we kind of started going into that route, but if you guys have any questions that I can answer, that Carol can answer, mainly probably John and Gabe can answer, feel free to ask those questions in the chat.
I know we have some frequently asked questions that we can maybe...
Yeah, we can start with some frequently asked questions. So I think we alluded to it a little bit, but who is the PC made for?
Right, yeah, like we mentioned, it's made for everyone, right? Whether you're using it for a podcast or you're using it to video render, video edit, or photo editing. It could be in a workplace, right? You walk into an office and see 30 of these. I think it would be a pretty cool looking office. Mm-hmm. It could be in your home gaming setup, right? Whether that be a huge setup or a small one. It's compact enough where it doesn't take a bunch of footprint on your setup. So, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And honestly, a system like this, especially like the Bright edition, looks great with like the new Corsair Neo edition of product line. It's just a clean setup. If you want to have like a home office that just looks aesthetically pleasing, this in combination with the Neo, it looks great. It looks really, really good.
Absolutely great. We'll put the keyboard back up.
Yep.
Just for reference.
Also, if we want to, I know some people had asked, if we want to show off the lighting features once more,
Sure.
We'll get some close-ups of it and then show them off,
absolutely.
just for the people that missed it.
Yeah,
I know
we
did
have some
it.
people in the chat that are just joining us. And if you guys are just joining us, I know I alluded to it earlier, but today is a special day. Today is the launch day of the Corsair 1. On the left is it the Corsair 1 that Gabe is unveiling. That is the
Wood Dark.
Wood Dark.
Yes.
I was gonna mispronounce that. And on the right is
The Wood Bright.
Wood bright.
Wood Bright, because some people were asking questions in the chat. This is the Corsair 1. We're talking about it here on the Origin side.
Dark
This
and
is,
bright.
for us to mention that we have the Origin 1 edition, which adds some more customization options that you may not be able to get on the Corsair
Dark and
1
bright.
on the Corsair side of things. We've been talking about the internals and how you can upgrade those internals and the options that we will have. And we do have a lifestyle video. Carol, do we want to show that lifestyle video again for those that may be just joining us?
So I don't have the lifestyle. I do have that other video that
The
I can
product
show.
video.
The product video.
For some reason, I can't find that other lifestyle video. I know
Okay.
they sent it to us, but if
And
someone-
while we're pulling that up, chat, if you do have any questions when we get outside of that video, we'll keep asking Gabe and John some questions, putting them on the spot. So I see you guys answering or asking some questions here in the chat. I'm noting them. Promise you, I will get to them, and I'm going to throw them their way after to put them on the spot. So we're working on that. Carol, are we ready?
Yeah,
for
we're
that?
ready. Let's roll
Okay,
it.
let's roll it. We're back. That was a little video if you guys didn't see it at the beginning or if you hadn't seen it on the Corsair side. So that's a little video. We are working to get a lifestyle video up in the meantime as well. We are able to bundle these units. Do you guys are able to talk a little bit more on how
no. I was talking about the other bundles. The you know, the ones that we do every month now.
We're talking about Ona? Is that
Yeah,
what we're talking about? Okay,
Ona.
so unrelated to what
Well, I pulled this video up.
Gabe and John are standing in front of. We do, on the Origin PC side of things, still offer fully custom PCs and chassis. If you guys type !ONA, ONNA in the chat, that will link you to a custom chassis and custom bundle that we did with an artist. Everything is customized fully to the Pink Samurai branding. Am I correct? Pink Samurai? I believe it's Pink Samurai. Yeah, Pink Samurai branding. That is a limited edition chassis and SKU that we released. Buy it while supplies last. So can I get an exclamation point? I think I can type it on my end, actually. I'm going to do it over here. Maybe I can. So exclamation point. Oh, no, if you guys are, by the way, I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the stream. If you guys are on YouTube, Twitter, we are also live on Twitch, twitch.tv/OriginPC. You guys can come on over here and all of the commands and things that I'm mentioning will work. Unfortunately, they won't. Well, there's no chat on Twitter, so you can't type on Twitter, and there is no commands on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in any of the things I'm mentioning, come on over to Twitch, twitch.tv/OriginPC, and that will link you everything that we are talking about.
Cool.
But
so I was able to pull up that trailer.
the lifestyle video.
Yes.
We do have the lifestyle video. Okay,
if we
let's
want
run
to
it.
take a look at it, give me one
Okay,
second.
pulling it up, pulling it up.
Let's roll it.
that was the lifestyle video that the Corsair team created, not us. The Corsair team created that we are.
Honestly, props to the team.
Props to the Corsair
It came out
team.
fantastic. It
I
looks
don't
really
know
good,
if
yeah.
Nick worked on
Amazing.
that, I'm assuming, or the entire Corsair team.
Andreas and his team.
There was a lot of heads on
Yeah,
it.
so shout out to the Corsair team. Did you just hear the
Oh wait, I was gonna hit the applause, but I was
We
like,
can do the applause too. That
yeah,
one
let's go.
works.
Let's
That
hit the
one
applause.
works.
There it is.
But yeah, all right. So
But yes, so let's answer some questions that we have here. I think this is a good one to start with. How do we handle manufacturer recalls, issues? For example, the previous 49er connector stuff. Do you guys help and cover things like that if it arrives in not a working condition?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if there's any issues upon arrival, please contact support. That will absolutely help you with any issues that you're having. If it's at a component level, right, your warranty will cover replacements and repairs. So definitely, if you receive the unit, if there's anything wrong with it, contact support and we'll take care of it right away.
Yeah.
I know we had mentioned it before we had shown the videos, but maybe we'll go into the lighting features again once more for the people that had missed
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yeah.
Cool,
You want to
cool.
go ahead and do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
let's
now.
do it.
All right.
Here, we got a little close
got a
up.
good shot here. There we go. So a couple of features to control your front and bottom lighting, your light pipes. So the bottom section here, and I'm going to start at the bottom because we're already changing features, right? But if you hold for about 2 seconds and release, it'll change the RGB effect to, I think we have like 6 different variations, and it'll start cycling through that. Pretty neat feature. There we go. I think the next one is the rainbow.
Yeah.
There it is. Back to
Starry
color
Night.
warp, or sorry, to Starry Night. There we
Yeah.
go. And then I'm gonna go back to static because I did want to show you the different RGB selections, right? So up top here, you can slide your finger up or down, and it'll cycle through the different RGBs, and kind of whichever one you want to stop at, you just release, and it'll stay there in that color. The slide function at the bottom as well does change the brightness of the system. And I did want to mention there is one, well, I guess I'll mention it at the end of the showcase. Now, if you did want to turn off your lights for whatever reason, you can hold the bottom section, the bottom strip, for about 3 seconds, and it'll turn off your lights. As I mentioned before, your power button will remain on, just so you're aware that your system is still powered on, in case you forget to turn your lights back on.
Now, I did want to mention also, the lighting controls aren't exclusive to just the touch. You can do this all within the Corsair One dashboard in the operating system.
That's a great point.
So once you're loaded into the OS, you can do all the lighting controls from there, changing the modes, the color, the brightness levels. You can also monitor your temp there, your fan speeds, all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then right before we go on, I did forget to mention, we do have a rear I/O light. So if you want to go ahead and connect any of your USB devices, or install your wireless antennas, or plug in any of your displays, you can easily just turn on that rear I/O, illuminate the back side. You can go ahead and connect your devices, and you can tap it again to turn off. If you forget to turn it on, it does have a built-in timer, right? So after 20 seconds, it'll automatically turn off. But this has helped me incredibly, right? When you have, especially for me, I'm playing in the dark, and I'm trying to connect something and I can't see. This helps tremendously.
So you're not just kind of aimlessly
just trying to plug it in.
the
Yeah.
cable. I think we've all been there. Where
You
and you're
scratch
like,
up the rear I/O.
You're like, okay,
Right,
now
yeah,
let me fully turn it around so I can finally plug in the cable. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's really helpful.
Been
Yes.
there, been there.
And unique. Okay. Do we want to hit on? So when you turn on in the PC and it's connected to a monitor, the system that it uses for the colors does that show temps? Is that just for colors? What is that system like when you finally turn on the PC?
Yeah, so like John mentioned, the Corsair One dashboard not only controls your lighting and your brightness, but it does read your fan and AIO RPMs.
Yeah.
So you can always be aware of the speeds of your devices. Additionally, it does show you the GPU and CPU temperatures. So that helps a lot, especially when the system is under heavy load.
Yeah.
There is one other software that we do offer on all our desktops, and that's Corsair Diagnostics. So if you do find that there's maybe something a little off with the system, you can run the Corsair Diagnostics, and it'll check all the components inside your Corsair One. if it does detect that there's an error, it will prompt you to contact support, and you can definitely let them know that you've run Corsair Diagnostics and provide a report of what you see or what you receive.
I know this is kind of more of a unique question, but can you run Linux on the Corsair One?
That's a great question. Yeah, so Corsair One was also built to be OS agnostic, right? So if you find that it's preferable for you to have Linux on Corsair One, that is absolutely an option, and it's definitely an option that Origin PC is looking to offer as well.
Yeah, we're working on it. It is obviously, with AI being like a big thing now, a lot of workstations and whatnot are using Linux. Ubuntu being one, derivatives of like Red Hat and things like that. So Linux will be an option that we're looking into offering. It's not available just yet, but the system itself, if you are knowledgeable in that area and you want to load Linux on these systems, you can do so.
Yeah, and that's also partly why we decided to use our proprietary kind of Corsair One dashboard software, right?
Yeah.
If you are running Linux, it doesn't require any other software. You can still control all your lighting. All your fans will still be functional.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, definitely helps with that.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned it earlier when we showed that original M.2. So is the max 2 M.2 slots that are available on the internal?
Yeah,
Yes.
so this motherboard has two M.2 slots, and you have the backside 2.5 drive that you can also install and connect for additional storage.
Correct.
Which you can get on Corsair.com.
Also,
Yes, you can.
I know
I
that.
love how we did that at the same time.
Yeah.
All three of us.
So insane.
I know a guy.
I know that there are also, I think on the Origin side, you can get different capture cards inside.
Yes, so we have the 4K 60 Pro and the 4K Pro. Those are the two options that are available right now. If there's other future capture cards that get released, we do the validation and then we offer those as well on the platform.
Neat. So whatever you want. We got you, y'all.
We got you. We're a full suite here of amenities.
Absolutely.
Another question that I'm looking at the chat questions that we had. How long did it take to make the design?
For this platform? I'll just say that we've been working on this for quite some time.
Yeah.
As you know, we did have a previous Corsair One, and the last time we released a Corsair SKU update, right, if you will, was about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit less. But definitely been working very hard on this design. We're very proud of the product it's become, and we hope that you enjoy it as well as much as we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of good praise on the design of the system itself. So
Now it's about seeing how it performs.
yeah.
No pressure. No.
No pressure.
Performance, yeah. Unfortunately, we won't be showing performance on the fly, right? But as we mentioned, we did have some of our influencer partners release their videos and their content. They've run performance on this. We've run performance on this, and it definitely doesn't disappoint, right? It's like our slogan says: compact brilliance, uncompromised performance.
Yeah.
It's a beast, and we've been playing Warzone on this nonstop, and we've had what's that other game that Alex was playing? The new one that just came out.
Oh, Gray Zone?
Yeah, no.
Gray-
Yeah, well,
or
actually, yeah, he has been playing Gray Zone.
He's been playing.
Which, if you haven't played
Helldivers?
it,
It's
Helldivers.
early access, yeah.
Helldivers.
Helldivers is another one. Yeah.
by the way, if you haven't seen Gray Zone on this thing, it's immaculate.
Oh,
I
it's,
need to.
It's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
Also, if you guys came over from the Corsair stream, I know Bob Duck and we was also playing. I think he did Horizon Zero Dawn and he did
He was
Apex.
playing
And he
did
did
Apex,
Apex.
yeah, I
some
saw that.
Marvel, yeah.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you guys were
okay.
able to catch that, he was
Shout
testing
out.
out.
But yes. Let's see what other questions we had here from the chat. Is there any VRM cooling?
Great question. I'm sure they saw a couple of videos already. This doesn't have this. So the cold plate that we do use on the GPU doesn't cover all the VRMs. What we found is that there wasn't any effect to the performance of the GPU in our testing. The thermals were kept low, so it wasn't something we felt that was absolutely necessary. But again, we can always investigate and we can always continue testing. And if it's absolutely necessary, then we'll add some additional cooling. But
Yeah.
luckily, those 3 intake fans that are right there up against the side panel brings in a ton of cold air.
Cool.
I saw a point that I want to make sure we hit on because it's not directly integrated, but it is integrated in there. Someone was asking if there's any IQ integration.
Great question. So there is no IQ integration out of the box, right? And I want to say that it does solely work on the Corsair One dashboard. Now, if you do happen to have Corsair peripherals, and we hope that you do, and if you don't, you can always get some on Corsair.com.
Corsair.com.
You can always install IQ, right? It's basically 2 separate entities. So IQ can still control all your peripherals, all your lighting, and Corsair One dashboard will control your system. So there are no conflicts. There's no internal battle between the 2 softwares. They'll just kind of work fluidly.
Yeah, and I think we showed obviously at the beginning of the stream and a little bit in how you can use the front of the chassis to change those colors. So, it's not as easy, I guess you could say, as using the IQ system on your PC, but there is that built-in platform
Correct.
that is designed to make it if you don't want to use your fingers.
And the dashboard does give you additional colors, by the way. So we do have, I think it's 8 preset RGB colors using the top strip. But using the dashboard, it opens up a color wheel, and you can pick any color on that color wheel, and it'll reflect onto the system. So there are other uses for it, and additionally, it does have a link that takes you directly to the Corsair One Quick Start Guide. So if you do, again, forget how to use the front panel lighting, it'll be on those instructions.
Yeah.
And if you are not able, for some reason, if you lose the packaging, you're always able to call support, and they can walk you through how to change those features if you are confused.
There was some questions that we had over from YouTube that I just saw.
Okay.
Someone asked, are there any sensors installed for heat?
Great question. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
I got it. All right.
You're on a roll.
We're like, okay, let's go.
You're on a roll.
So the software does have built-in sensors. So if and this works hardware too, by the way. So if your GPU cooler, AIO cooler, for whatever reason fails and isn't functioning properly, you will get an immediate warning that says device not detected. Please contact customer support immediately. So we do have a few fail safes, right, to make sure that we're protecting your unit. Same thing, if it is overheating your CPU or your GPU, you will get a notification notifying you that your CPU is overheating. Please shut down immediately. And if it continues to happen, you can contact support. So yes, the software definitely is there as a fail-safe to make sure that your system is running properly.
Nice. And then I know that we went over this earlier, but someone asked on YouTube, will Origin PC have different skins/wraps available for the front?
Customization is still being worked on.
Yeah.
We have a few ideas that we're spitballing right now with the customization of the front panel, potential side panel customization, things like that. So we're weighing our options and seeing what's going to look the best, what's going to feel the best for the customer. So we're still weighing those options to be able to launch that on the site.
I can't wait.
Early stages.
I'm excited for the customization.
Yeah, I'm excited for the laser etching possibility as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool with the wood.
Yeah.
Everything combined.
I'm excited.
So far, some of the stuff that we've done for laser etching, like test-wise, is looking really good, and it's got a nice feel to it. So
Yes,
it should be
no
good.
spoilers, but I really like the designs. They look great.
Yeah, they do. They do.
No spoilers.
That's important.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw a question from Mr. J Squire. Is the BIOS configured not to attempt 4097 watt CPU power?
Say that again?
4097.
Is the BIOS configured not to attempt 4097 watt CPU power?
I'm not sure if he missed that.
CPU power?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure of the question, but I will say, as I mentioned earlier, the BIOS for Corsair One is a customized BIOS provided, right? And what we did is we set the CPU power limiters at its best potential performance to thermal ratio. We want to make sure that you're still getting your full 14900K performance out of a small form factor case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope that answers J Squire's question. Unfortunately, we were not 100% sure, but at least we hit on.
Yeah, hopefully that answers it.
Scratched the itch there.
Yeah.
We covered
If
the BIOS.
your question was different, just send it in again, and we can
Yes,
ask
absolutely.
again.
Yes. This is a good question as well. which I think I know the answer to, but I'm going to let you guys speak on it. Can I send it in for a 5090, which we are not spoiling. We don't know if that's what is the next cards coming out.
We will not confirm or deny.
I will not be losing my job today. NVIDIA, do not come for my neck.
Count. It goes 1, 2.
No,
Yeah.
You
never know.
We do not have any future information.
Skip a number. Are we dyslexic? No.
We do not have any future
They might scrap
information
the
on
whole
cards.
the numbering.
You never know.
Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
They could switch it up on us. They could go straight to a 60. We don't know.
We don't
Right,
know.
we don't know.
But do we have what are we thinking in terms of upgrades when those products do come out, and do we have any information at this time?
What I can share is that we will be up to date with all launches, right? And this is for all partners in the tech market. So if and when something does get launched and refreshed, Corsair One will be including those components.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can say.
We'll be adapting.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will be adapting. Is it builder friendly? Would I be able to do any future upgrades myself?
To an extent, yeah. So again, we don't know what the future holds with certain components, but for the most part, memory, storage, if it can support it, potentially CPU, like things like that. So it all depends on what the components are, what the future holds for those components, and the upgradability on those. So until we could do further validation and future testing, we don't know a for sure answer. But yes, we will be able to, like we said, adapt.
Right.
We can accommodate for future components.
Yeah, and if it's something current, like today, right? If you
Right.
want to add an additional, because this currently has 2 sticks of memory installed, it's a micro ATX motherboard, and I think we forgot to mention that. It's kind of important.
Oh, right, yeah.
It is a micro ATX motherboard, so you do have 4 total DIMM slots, right? 2 are
Yeah.
being used, 2 are open. So if you did want to install 4 sticks of memory, it is very accessible. It's pretty easy to get in.
Yeah.
And we do, if you're not used to opening systems, especially a new one like this, we do have instructions in the quick start guide, step-by-step instructions on how to get to the internals and how to install that memory. But you're absolutely more than welcome to do so on this unit.
Yeah, and if it's also something that you want to pre-configure, if you don't want to go ahead and mess with the internals and you don't want to do the, figure it out yourself kind of thing, you can configure these with Origin. You have options from 32 gigabytes all the way up to 192 gigabytes that it's available for the system. Storage is also the same thing. It starts at 1 terabyte and it'll go all the way up to 8 terabytes. And you can, combo those, make, 2 8 terabyte drives, SSD on the side. It has the 2.5-inch slot on the side. So you can add an additional storage drive there. So it's really how you want to configure the system yourself.
And speaking on that configuration, if you guys haven't seen it or want to check it out yourself, if you guys type !Corsair 1 in the chat, that will be on the Twitch chat, twitch.tv/OriginPC. If you guys are watching on any other platform, come on over to Twitch to type that command in. You'll see that landing page that's coming up on the screen right there. Like I mentioned, this is a lot of information that we're throwing at you. If you guys aren't taking your notes, which we fully expect you to, you can reference this landing page here, which does an even deeper dive than what we're showing to you here on stream. And you also can play around with that custom configurator, pick and choose, and add and subtract some things that you would want. It also shows you the different options that we have available for the PC, as well as that extended warranty that John mentioned earlier. On the Corsair side of things, it comes with a standard 2-year. On the Origin side, you have the option to upgrade to that 3-year extended warranty. Right. So if you guys type !Corsair 1, that will prompt that message for you guys there.
Yeah, and if you missed it earlier, we did talk about the front panel, which I think we can bring it up again for any new viewers. The front panel is real wood; it's FSC certified wood, so that being said, it has a unique design to each panel. So each panel will have a different grain, a different pattern, a different look and feel to it. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, you can have 30 Corsair 1 side by side, and not one of them will look the same. So I think that provides a little bit of uniqueness to your setup, uniqueness to your Corsair One. I've seen some really cool looking wood patterns that I myself want to grab for my desk. But yeah, because it is a unique grain, they'll all be different. So I think that's very, very cool. Kind of a cool design to a desktop, right? A desktop PC.
Corsair One Origin PC in its own way.
Yeah,
they have
absolutely.
their own customization there that makes it kind of like Origin PC, unique to your, not your branding, but unique to your own wooden panel.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Of course.
Another good question came in from the chat. Does overclocking void the warranty?
I also wanted to combine that question with another question, but what kind of things would void the warranty
point.
on it? So.
Great question. You want me to cover the Corsair side of it?
Sure. Yeah.
So on the Corsair side, like I said, we do encourage you to upgrade and install things like your memory and your M.2. Something that will definitely void your warranty is swapping out the motherboard, right? It's a completely different chipset, completely different set of drivers, something that we don't support. For the overclocking question, right, as I mentioned, this is a customized Corsair BIOS, so you won't be able to go in and change the settings of the CPU because we want to make sure that we preserve your CPU, preserve your components, and that it's cooled properly, right? We don't want you to go over the top per se.
Yeah. And I mean, to add to that, as far as like voiding any warranties on the Origin side, it's going to follow along the same track as like what Corsair is doing. Any major component changes, anything that you're doing yourself to the system, please guys, if you're not comfortable doing any of this, please contact support. They will either walk you through it step by step to do whatever it is that you need to do, or you can also, if it's something that is a failed component and it is something that needs to be replaced and you do not feel comfortable doing it yourself, contact support. We could set it up to have the system come in, do those necessary changes or replacements that we might need to do for the system.
Right.
Yeah, lighting the wood on fire definitely voids your warranty.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes, that 100%.
I mean, yeah,
voids
like
warranty.
like John mentioned, don't hesitate to reach out. Our support
Please
is
don't,
always
yeah.
there 24/7, and they're great. Chat,
knowledgeable.
phone, email, whatever you want.
Very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Question from Lone Wolf 67. Does it have Wi-Fi 6 or 7?
This model has
6E.
Wi-Fi 6E.
6E, yeah.
Yes, Wi-Fi 6E.
Wi-Fi 6E. Someone said, is there going to be a pop quiz at the end of the stream? Am I supposed to be taking notes?
Yes.
So I was thinking the same thing when you said that. I'm like, are we going to do a pop quiz for the audience?
You guys better be taking notes.
Have you been listening?
Have you been listening and don't use the landing page as your cheat sheet?
Maybe they're using AI to take all their notes.
This is
ChatGPT.
not-
taking the notes for you.
This is not an open book or open website.
This is not open book.
Open
Close
website,
all your
yeah.
windows.
I'm getting PTSD from college, and I graduated 3 years ago. So,
Okay, cool. I mean, we're finishing up on the questions here.
I think we had. Do you want to ask that last one?
Yeah, we have one more question. I don't know if you guys are going to have the answer to this question, but how long will the PC take to ship if you're in the US?
Within the US?
Yeah.
I feel like that varies based on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
could,
does.
yeah.
It does vary depending on time of order to where you live,
Right.
right?
And day of week.
Right, of course.
And weather.
Yeah.
Well,
So there are
weather
many
conditions,
factors. There are many factors, but what I will say is that we're doing our very best to make sure that we're shipping within a 2-week window of purchase.
Yeah. Cool. I mean,
I got to play on word here. I'm gonna judge your math here.
Oh boy.
And then I'm gonna.
is this a math quiz
Why?
now?
Why?
Math
You're trying to make me sweat now?
Welcome
What's
to
happening?
class. How many gifted for a free one?
Oh my god.
How many would be the equivalent of 3,000?
Wait, but we're not giving one of these away?
Are we?
No.
No.
Sorry, guys, we're not giving one of these away.
This is the first time hearing it.
Kevin, please don't fire me. I swear I was.
What are you
prepared.
doing?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I can take one for free. I'm glad to upgrade my setup.
That would
Not
be.
this one.
That's not the giveaway. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. The chat shoots their shot. I need to shoot my
That's fair.
shot,
That's
so-
fair.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
True.
So how long before PJ puts a custom loop in one?
Victor
Oh,
asked how long
I'm
before.
sure he's been itching to do that.
Yeah. And
don't
if he
know.
wasn't and he's watching the stream, he's going to want to do it now.
If you guys
PJ, I got
doing
you.
it right
I got
now.
you, buddy.
If you didn't hear what
what Victor said.
what Victor said, because he doesn't have a mic on, he said how long until there is a custom. PJ wants to put a custom loop into the PC, and
Soon. Honestly, PJ grabs PCs and then
Yeah.
puts stuff in them.
I give it like
he's
I give it like a week.
He's a
A
mad
week.
scientist.
He is a
give it a
mad
week.
scientist.
He's always in the lab cooking up something.
Yeah.
And in the same, I guess, kind of category, right, of DIY, because I know this has been asked before. but the case is only on Corsair One. So you will not be able to find this case anywhere but on Origin PC or Corsair.com as Corsair One.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
It will not be a standalone chassis.
Yeah, sorry guys.
It is only available through a system purchase.
I think we have one more question. Maybe?
Go for it.
I'm not sure. There's a trade-in Oh, no, never mind. I think this was a...
Shout out Koozie to John.
Is there
In the
Hey,
chat.
what's up, buddy?
Shout out Koozie.
Wow. I miss you, man.
I'm not as good as Koozie, but it's fine. I'm hi Koozie. We've never met, but now we've met. So.
Someone asked if there was a trade-in program for my Corsair One i160, right? And then they put a laughing emoji, so I think it's just a joke. But I wish.
Is there? I guess we can answer that. Is there a trade-in program? I think that's similar to like on the Origin PC side of things, which is
referencing like our Evolve program.
Right, exactly.
Not at this time. So again, going back to what we discussed before, the future of components. We don't know yet. We don't know what we'll be able to do. Like, we know what we'll be able to adapt and offer those future products, but what it'll entail to offer those products, we don't know. So therefore, we can't offer the Evolve just yet.
But stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And follow Origin PC on all socials and Corsair on all socials to know.
There you go.
You're
Cool,
welcome.
cool.
I got you a plug there.
Appreciate you.
And also, as always, if you guys are interested in purchasing these, !Corsair One in the Twitch chat will prompt that landing page where you guys can learn more about it and all the configurator options on the Origin PC side of things. It is also available on the Corsair side of things. And if you do need your peripherals and so on and so forth with it, you can also buy Corsair peripherals at Corsair.com.
Yes, actually stay tuned because we're doing some pretty cool stuff with peripherals for Corsair One.
Ooh.
Yes, that's all I will say.
Sneak
Breaking
peek.
news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Stay tuned.
On
Only
Twitter.
here.
Stay tuned.
I
Cool. I think that was all the questions that we got.
think so.
Oh, wait. Well, Mnemonic just got here. He's one of our mods. He said, I just arrived. Can we see the inside? One more sneak peek at the inside
Oh,
before
yes.
we
Make them
before we
sweat.
wrap
Here,
it
let
up.
me go ahead and pop this open again.
This will be the last view, y'all.
Well, not the. It's not going.
It's not the
anywhere.
last
Carol,
one.
it just got here. It's not going anywhere.
The last view on this stream.
Oh, on this stream. Sorry.
If you order one, you can get a hands-on.
If you order one, you can look at the
Yeah.
inside whenever you want.
Origin PC.
Yeah, so if you actually weren't here earlier, John just quickly took it off. The Corsair One does have that fabric side panel that also acts as a filter for those intake fans located there on the side. There are 2 screws on the aluminum panel just to get that removed, which he did so already. And now he's removing the 2 screws that hold that swing door. Once that swing door opens up, you have full access to your memory, CPU, and top M.2 slot. So that top M.2 slot is actually empty, and we did that so it's easily accessible for you, the customer, to go ahead and install another M.2 SSD. The primary SSD, which houses your Windows OS, is located just beneath the GPU there. You might be able to see it just a little bit right behind that pump.
There, right behind the pump.
Right.
You'll see it there, yeah.
So it is accessible, but it does entail a little bit more work to get it out.
I will say it's not impossible, but it does take a little bit of extra work to get into it and to like screw it down behind the pump right back here.
Right.
So it's a little bit of extra work, but it's not impossible.
But we wanted to make sure to make it easy for you,
Right.
so we left that top slot open.
Ease of access, it's already there, so this one's available to you when you are ready to upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then here at the bottom, you see the SF1000L power supply, powering this entire beast of a system. A little bit of cable management there on the left. Like I said, your RTX video card, that be a 4080 Super or 4090. Your M.2 storage NVMe, and your 14900K. And then, of course, depending on the model chosen, the 4090 configuration has 64 gigs, 2x32 at 6,000 mega transfers. The 4080 Super variant has 32 gigs, 2x16, 6,000 mega transfers.
I'll just put
question.
supplementing just 1 screw for now.
A question from the chat, and again, we can't speak on future products that we don't know any information about, but has there ever been a GPU, a water-cooled GPU Corsair One?
Previously, yes. So the previous Corsair One did have liquid-cooled GPU and CPU. But it was a single loop, right? And what that means is basically the same AIO is cooling both devices. This version of Corsair One, the new i500, has two individual AIO coolers. A 240 millimeter cooler that's mounted on top is cooling your RTX graphics card, and the 120 millimeter radiator that you saw mounted on the side on the fans is cooling your CPU, your 14900K. Oh, we're seeing the cable management side.
Might as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So the folks can see the additional 2.5-inch slot that is also pre-wired to make it easier for those upgrading.
While he takes that off, someone also asked any questions about how loud the system is while running. Pretty quiet.
It's pretty quiet. I touched on this earlier, but sound is subjective.
Right.
It is what it is.
Everyone has their own opinion.
Right,
too.
everyone has their own opinion on how loud something is, but I will say in all of our experience with the systems that we constantly see day to day, this is whisper quiet.
Right.
You do not hear it. It's even under full load, like we haven't really noticed
No, we have
much noise at all.
We've had quite a few of them in the lab or
benchmarking,
or even, yeah.
gaming for
Right.
us to play here. I mean, it's a quiet unit. And you'll see back here, we have the cable management. It's nice and clean. And for the those at home that are upgrading, if you do get your system, it already has the screws on the tray. So you don't have to think about, well, where's my accessories and all that. It's already mounted on here. You just unscrew it, attach it to your 2.5, reinstall that onto here, and then you'll conveniently have the SATA power and data cables right down here that are managed for your convenience.
And obviously nothing is running on the PCs at the moment, but
Correct.
they are standing in front of those two chassis right now with mics right in front of them, and you guys can't hear it. I see some people making some jokes in the chat about it being pretty quiet, but they are the professionals. They have worked hands-on with these units for months on end.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
I mean,
gamed on them.
we're definitely
Yeah.
not going to kid you, right? The fans ramp up as they should,
Right.
As you start to game or as you start to render videos, the components are going to get hot, the fans are going to ramp up, and it will get louder than it is at idle.
Right.
And that's done on purpose, right?
Right.
So it does ramp up. It does get a little bit louder than it does right now at idle, but it is quiet, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a good question as well. For those that may have purchased our previous Corsair One or owned or maybe just viewed it, what is it in comparison to size of the previous Corsair One that we released?
I think the width and height are the exact same.
Yes, so you're right.
Yeah.
The height and width of the system is the same. What is a little bit different, and we'll do
Yeah,
here
we'll
for
do
the
this
bright one. Yeah, is this kind of width right towards the rear. And that was done intentionally to make sure that we could fit and cool the RTX 4090 appropriately.
Yeah.
We do have some figures, right? We measure it by liters. The previous Corsair One was about 12 liters. This one's 21, about 21. So it is fairly larger than the previous Corsair One, but that was to make sure that we can accommodate the larger flagship GPUs.
Awesome. I think that's all the questions that we had from chat.
I think
Cool.
so.
Very cool.
for
Hopefully we've been
now.
able to answer all the questions.
Yeah, I know this was like a huge Q&A, but
No worries.
I'm gonna answer a question that's unrelated to the Corsair One, just because I saw some people mention it on YouTube. Guys, if you enter the giveaway for the Sandland PC, it has not shipped. It is not available for purchase. It was solely a giveaway PC. That was a one-of-one system. The winners have been contacted, and they have around 48 hours to respond to a giveaway. If that winner does not respond, it is rolled. But the giveaway itself has concluded. Or does it? Yeah, I believe it concluded on the 4th. Is that correct? Or is it the
I think
7th?
so. I think it ended already,
On the
yeah.
4th, yeah. So that is not a PC that we were mass producing. Otherwise, Bandai Namco might have some issues with me, myself, because I was the one that negotiated that. So no, Bandai Namco, we are not selling that. Don't worry. Does that mean the old model is discontinued? The old Corsair One model? Great
Yes,
question.
so the old model has been discontinued for quite some time
It's been
now.
some time, yeah.
Yeah. To make room for the new and
new.
improved, right? And
Out with the old, in with the new.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And as I mentioned, it is a system that is offered in more than one region. So it's not just in the United States. It can be found in Canada, the UK, the EU, and we are expanding to other regions. So definitely stay tuned. If you don't have one or it's not available in your current region, it will be.
Awesome.
Moonlight, I just did hit on that. So hopefully you heard what I said regarding that. I think that's everything. Do you guys have any final thoughts on your end of things?
No, I think we've covered
A lot.
quite a lot.
Quite a bit.
Quite a lot. So I hope you got all the kind of information you needed and answered all the questions you had. We're super excited for this to finally come out and launch and be available to
the public,
the world essentially, right? It's been many months of
hard work,
long hours on this unit, and we couldn't be prouder of what it's become. So we're hoping that you enjoyed as much as we do.
Thank you guys so much for coming onto the stream and talking a little more in depth about it.
Yeah, a huge shout out to Gabe and John. John, is this your first stream behind the camera?
It is not.
It is not.
Nope.
Okay.
My first stream ever with Origin PC was, I was talking to Carol about this, was a live build that I did for Lyric on Twitch, which was huge.
It was like a huge stream. Apparently they had like 30,000 viewers.
That was my introductory
They
stream.
threw you right into the
They were
fire.
like-
Right into it. Yeah, and I want to thank Kuzi for that.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
Oh no, Kuzi's still here, but Kuzi, there's your stray. that was festering for a while. He's here. That was festering for a while. But Gabe, thank you for joining us as well. I know that you were super busy with launch. Big shout out to Gabe and John. They worked very hard on this on the Corsair and the Origin PC side of things. If you guys have not checked it out, you guys can go to Corsair.com or OriginPC.com. We have separate landing pages, but they're all in one, pretty much for the most part, versus on the Origin side of things, there's a little bit more customization available. If you guys are not following Origin PC on social media or Corsair on social media, be sure to follow, stay up to date with all upcoming announcements regarding the Corsair 1 or any future releases, products that we have down the line. And even in specific to the Corsair 1, I'm sure we'll have some more things down the line to announce as well. You didn't hear it from me or anyone here in the room currently. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it over here on my end of things. Carol, any other final statements on your end?
No, thank you all so much for coming to the stream.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. This was fun.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
This was great.
Well, we'll catch you on the next one then.
We will catch you on the next stream, guys. Make sure to follow Origin PC and Corsair on all social platforms, and we will see you guys. Well, Vic was behind Carol's camera, but
Wait, go
There it
once
is.
more. Go once
There it
more.
is. Yeah,
Now you do the cameo.
Okay.
Hey, you got a Victor appearance.
shout out Vic behind the camera, as well as Carol, who does all the production for everything. Vic did some of the photography and videography for this stuff, so big shout out to Vic and the entire Origin and Corsair team for the launch. And we will see you guys in the next stream. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you guys on the next Origin PC stream. We'll see you later, I guess.
Bye.
Bye.